You need leverage in your business. If you don't have leverage, you've got a job. J-O-B. Why? Because you're the only one responsible for your income. Now, the neat thing is, hopefully you're in a legitimate network marketing direct sales company where you're aligned with the company and the products and you believe in what you're promoting, and they have a compensation plan that rewards you just for selling product. I do believe that that is the foundation to building a solid business. I can just tell you that recruiting is something you need to master, but I also think there's a lot of overwhelm these days and people are feeling that burnout. And that's a shame because it's such a great profession, but I think it's because a lot of us are trying to do too much, right? We see all these other leaders and, this leader has like daily power hours and this leader is doing like, Zooms in the evening and they're getting together with their teams and they're doing these team retreats and you start to feel the pressure of building a team. Or maybe you think you're not equipped to build a team. Maybe you think you're not equipped to mentor other people. My job, my goal in this conversation is to help simplify the process for you. And listen, I've been recruiting for 21 years. I've been in this profession for 21 years, and I'm still in the trenches recruiting and launching new teams still today. I enrolled 122 people personally last year. Personally, our team enrolled 7,500 people and our team brought in 180,000 new customers last year. Check out that customer to rep ratio, by the way. It's like mind-boggling, right? But the fact is, recruiting is the foundation to building momentum. And if your business isn't where you want it to be, let's say right now you're not, how many of us, we're not making the money we want to make? Our business isn't where we want it to be. Our volume isn't where we want it to be, the income, etc. If it's not where you want it to be, then you've got to get back to the basics of launching new teams, starting new teams. If you're not recruiting new people and your team isn't recruiting new people because they're doing what you're doing, right? You're the leader. You're supposed to be leading by example. If they don't see you out there doing the things, they're not going to do the things. Like when I look at my organization, the teams that are growing are the teams that are bringing in new customers, obviously, but also new recruits. Because the truth is, when you're in the same company for a year or 3 years or 5 years or like me, 7.5 years, you don't have as many fresh leads that don't know what you already do. Now, you might get that because maybe you're doing some of the attraction marketing strategies we've been talking about a lot recently, right? In previous training videos. There's always ways to meet new people. But the truth is, when someone just gets started, they've got hundreds of people, thousands of people that they can go approach. And it's easier for a brand new person or the new people on your team to identify prospects and leads versus someone that's been involved in the same thing, promoting the same thing for 4 years. Does that make some sense? So you have to understand the lifeblood of your business because you're either growing or dying. You're never maintaining. You're either growing or you're dying. That's the truth in business and in life, I guess. That's kind of sad, right? But you have to understand that it's all about the new people. So you should start tracking your numbers, treating your business like a business. So let me ask you this. How many personal recruits did you bring in last year? How many new recruits did your team bring in last year? And then the second piece is, how many new customers did you bring in last year? How many new customers did your team bring in last year? And by the way, this isn't just for the year. This could be last month. This could be in the first quarter of the new year. You start treating your business like a business. Here's something else you should write down. Something else you should track. Your volume. You're treating it like a business. You should probably know your numbers. So I track my volume on the 7th of the month. Like I take a screenshot of my volume every night anyway. Every single night, I take a screenshot of my volume. Every single night before I go to bed. I know my numbers, but I'm really paying attention to the 7th, the 14th, the 21st, and of course, the end of the month. You should be tracking this information. Stop treating it like a hobby. Hobbies don't pay bills. Hobbies are just an expense. You can't write off a hobby. You understand? Like you get tax deductions when you have a business. And remember, you are running a business. You are the CEO of your business. Start acting as such. Start acting like you are the boss of your organization, leading by example, tracking your recruits, launching new teams, all my teams that are growing, I'm telling you right now, I've got teams that are having explosive growth. I have teams that, they had their biggest month ever last month. I have teams in different parts of the world that are growing, that are launching. And guess what? Again, they're on fire because they're recruiting. It's so much fun when you're working with new people. Like I just enrolled a new social marketer on my team yesterday from Scotland, and his name's also John. So John, if you watch this, you got a great name. Welcome to the team. But does that make sense? Like you have to have that mentality, that mindset. Now, let's get into some of my bullet points here on how to simplify the process. First of all, for me, and I talk about this all the time, there's two things you want to master. It's prospecting and posting, the two P's that lead to the third P, which is profits. Prospecting and posting leads to profits. So I would have a goal, if I were you, to post 10 to 15 times a week if you're serious. If you're serious about your business, 10 to 15 posts a week. Now, it's not a lot if you're doing reels, you're maybe going live a few times a week, but for those of you that are part-time, you're very new, don't put that kind of pressure on yourself. Maybe you're only posting 3 to 5 times a week. It's up to you. Listen, it's your business. You can decide how much or how little you want to put into it. But I do think if someone's serious, they should be posting 10 to 15 times a week. Now, let's be clear. That's only 1 to 2 posts a day. And even if it's just 1 post a day, that's amazing. Do you have to do that? Absolutely not. It's just, I'm telling you, I built a multi-million-dollar business. I'm just telling you my mindset, what I teach and what I do. And it doesn't necessarily mean it works for you. Some of you might only post once a week and that works for you. Some of you might do most of your posting in your stories. That's cool too. Again, this is just my perspective. I'm just sharing you what works for me. The posting aspect is important, obviously, because your goal is to lead with value. Follow the 80-20 rule. 80% of the time, value-based posts. 20% of the time, maybe you're incorporating products, before and afters, nonchalantly mentioning your business or products. Maybe you do, like we have this thing called a spoon post. Maybe you do something like that. Maybe you do an unboxing video. There's ways that you can show up and promote your products, but in a way that's educational. And I want you to think every time you do a post, every time you're doing a post, is this valuable to people, even if they're not interested in buying or purchasing my product? Even if they're not interested in making money, is this valuable to them? So I want you to think about that when you're posting. The second tier of this conversation is obviously the prospecting part. And I know for some of us, we hate rejection, but the truth is you have a miracle in your mouth. Write that down. There are people praying for something and you have a solution. So you have to get over your fear of rejection and the fear of judgment, what other people are going to think about you. Because the truth is, thank God someone shared network marketing with me 21 years ago. Thank God someone didn't prejudge me and go, John's got a tongue ring, earrings. He's like a troublemaker. He's a loser. Like he's not going to be interested in making money. Like I wouldn't even want to work with that dude. He's trouble. He's a problem child. You know what I'm saying? Thank God Mike Callahan, the guy who enrolled me into network marketing 21 years ago, didn't prejudge me. You have to get over your fear, get over yourself. It ain't about you. Look, when I'm posting, when I'm going live, when I'm doing a video like this, it's not about me. It's about who I can help. Same thing when it comes to recruiting. There's so many ways you can do it. You can lead with the product. You can lead with the business. You can lead with talking to people about monetizing their social equity, monetizing their social media. There's so many ways to do it. But the thing is, it has to be something that you're going to do consistently. Okay. So for some of you, you're like, I'm not comfortable approaching people with the business, then lead with the product. Here's what I would challenge you to do. Okay. I would challenge you to reach out to 50 people about the products this week and reach out to 50 people about the business this week. Figure out what you're more comfortable with doing. Because here's the thing. I've got some of the top recruiters on my team and they lead with the product. And then when someone says, yes, I'm open to losing weight or getting in shape or something to help with mental clarity or energy or better sleep, whatever, something that can help with my stress, something can help with my joint discomfort. Yes, I want to look younger, feel better, whatever, right? Like when they approach people with the product and they get people saying, yes, I'd be open to the product, they say, would you also be open to taking a look at the opportunity and how we monetize our social media, how we make money online? It can be more effective to lead with product and then ask them if they also want to take a look at the business. You could also reach out to people and just say, hey, do you keep your income options open? Do you look at other ways to make money outside of what you're doing right now? Like, stop overthinking it. In fact, here's the thing. We have scripts. I love our scripts, but I don't love the copy and paste. I'm not a fan of copy and paste. I'm a fan of being a human first, a marketer second, reaching out to people and using the audio to ask them if they're open. That's what I teach. That's what I do. Does it necessarily mean it's going to work for you? I don't know. You have to test it out. I don't love working out, but I love the results. I don't love prospecting people or getting rejected, but I love the money I make helping people. And I know that, again, it's a numbers game. And the problem is you could see two different people. They look the same. They have the same background, everything about them seems identical. And one will be totally skeptical and might even block you just for mentioning your business. And the other person is going to thank you for the rest of their life for introducing them to this profession. You have no idea who's going to say yes, who's going to say no, who's going to say no, not yet, no, not now, and they might say yes later. So you're always planting seeds. You're planting seeds every conversation you have. And then as you show up on social media as a person of value with your content, you're watering those seeds. Does this make some sense? The scripts are great, but it's more about your excitement, your enthusiasm, your confidence, your belief. If you say, John, I don't have confidence, guess how you build up your confidence? Doing the things. Doing the things. How do you think I got comfortable doing videos? Doing videos. How do you think I got comfortable recruiting and building teams and all the things I do now that you might say, wow, you're a natural? It's from doing it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, even when I didn't feel like it, because your dreams and goals don't care about your feelings. And your feelings don't care about your dreams and goals. I cannot tell you how many times I've enrolled people after back and forth rapport building and conversations, engaging in their stories, talking about things that have nothing to do with my business, nothing to do with my products. They end up bringing it up. They end up asking me because no is just the beginning. It's no, not yet. No, not now. No, I don't believe you. No, I'm going to watch you. Let me see what you do. I cannot tell you how many times people have joined me after weeks, after months, after years. This is why you have to commit and play the long game. Outgive the competition, out hustle the competition, build more rapport, build more relationships, have more conversations in the competition. And eventually you will surpass the majority of people you look up to. All right. So the work you're doing today, the conversations you're having today will pay off in 3 weeks, 3 months, and 3 years. You'll see the results in 90 days from the work you do today. Now, some people, it'll happen a lot faster, but don't get discouraged when you see people flying past you. Don't get discouraged when you see people out recruiting you, out producing. They probably have more influence because of something they did prior to getting started. So if you see someone come in 6 months after you and they blow right past you in the comp plan, you should actually be inspired by that. And you could say, hey, that sucks. Oh my gosh, what am I doing wrong? Oh, this is like discouraging. Or you could say, wow, that's impressive. Wow, that's inspiring. Wow, what if I recruit someone that can do what that person did? I might have people right now in my network that could do what that person did. So I just got to open my freaking mouth. You want to sell the thing that explains the thing. So what does that mean? That means get them in the groups, tag them in the videos. Still today, when I get someone says, yes, I'm interested in the products, I add them to the product group, I tag them in the video based on what they're interested in. When I get a business prospect, I add them to the product group and I add them to the business group. So they're in both of our ATM groups, right? Our ad tag message groups. So I want to get people that are interested in the business into both groups. Now, some of you I know don't use the ATM system. That sucks. It's the greatest exposure system on the planet. It is literally still today. Facebook groups is still the easiest way because look, most people are on Facebook. Facebook's got more features. It's got reels. It's got group chats. It's got the ATM groups. It's got Facebook groups. I mean, everything about Facebook to me is still the best. But even if I meet someone on TikTok, YouTube, I meet someone on LinkedIn, I meet someone on Instagram, my goal is to get them over to Facebook and add them to the product group, add them to the business group. Why? So they can learn more about the products, learn more about the opportunity, the company, and they see the simplicity. All you got to do is what I'm doing with you right now. All you got to do is what I'm doing with you right now is add people to these groups, tag them in the videos. You don't need to do the selling, telling, and explaining. All you do is get them in the groups, let them watch the videos, let them take the time to learn about the company and the products. And then from there, the fortunes and the follow-up. So here's the thing. All of you should have a follow-up book. So this is what my follow-up book looks like. There's 20 people per page. So my mindset is I want to fill up this page as quickly as possible. As quickly as possible. Still today, my goal is to fill up one page a week. That's 20 people a week. Still today, after 21 years, my goal is to ATM 20 people a week. Now, watch this. I either cross them off if they're a no, or I circle them if they're a yes. I also put FU on the side, which stands for follow-up. It stands for follow-up. Relax. Anyway, so as you can see, I put a little FU here. So, because I know the importance of the follow-up. And then I circle the ones that join or buy, and I cross off the ones that don't. Because you know what? I'm okay with no's. No is just not yet. No, not now. Some will, some won't, some wait. So what next? I'm going to keep showing up. I'm going to keep in touch. I'm going to continue building that relationship. Maybe they buy or join one day. Maybe they don't. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I signed up 7 out of 20. Do you see how a ratio will start to appear? So my mindset is I want to ATM and then I want to follow up. Okay. On the next page, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So I got 8 people on the next page. Do you see how I can track my numbers? I know that if I ATM 20 people, I'm going to sign up probably on the low end, 3 to 5 of those people. On the high end, 7, 8, 9 people. Now you're going to say, whoa, that close ratio is really high. Yes. But remember, I've been doing this 21 years. Don't compare your chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to my chapter 21. But don't get discouraged by that. Go, oh my gosh, I don't even have a follow-up book. I don't even know, where am I getting these people to ATM? Drop the stinking thinking. Drop the analysis paralysis. You're thinking too much. The only reason you're not where you want to be is you're just not having enough conversations because of the fear of judgment, the fear of failure, the fear of being embarrassed, or someone ghosting you, or someone making fun of you. Who gives a rat's ass? Listen, do they pay your bills? Do their opinions pay your bills? If they don't pay your bills, why do you care if they laugh at you, if they say no? And by the way, I had people that laughed at me in the beginning. They ain't laughing anymore. Let them be right and you go get rich.